I'm super excited that you guys are joining me today. Thank you so much. I am here with Omuugn. He is the author of The Insights and Wisdom of Omuugn. We're here to share with you today is the power of commitment and how it can change your life. So please help me welcome Omuugn.
Good morning. It's good to be here. Beautiful day and life is good.
So what is the difference between saying I'm going to lose some weight and then saying, "Oh, but they served me some chocolate cake for dinner and whoopsie, I didn't meet my goal because these were outside factors that interrupted my commitment."
That's where we look at our commitment in sort of a priority way. For example, if I want to lose weight, like right now, next week is Thanksgiving dinner, and there's delicious food to choose from. So we need to look at our goals and objectives realistically. How am I really going to live? Am I going to isolate myself at Thanksgiving dinner because I don't want to break the commitment that I've made to lose weight and to follow this particular diet? Make your commitments realistically depending on your lifestyle and what you want to accomplish. If you have a consistent lifestyle and then you break it every once in a while for something you enjoy, that's really okay. But if you're breaking your commitment all of the time, you're really not committed at all. You're just deceiving yourself. For example, you mentioned intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting requires a commitment to eat in a certain time frame and then to abstain for so many hours. If you're committed to intermittent fasting, then you really have to dedicate yourself to the time frames when you eat, and that takes a lot of self-discipline and a lot of sort of see through the whole process. It's not just a hit and miss thing every once in a while. For it to be effective, you have to do it every day, and it becomes a lifestyle.
My lifestyle was not working. I feel like I'm a pretty committed person, but it wasn't working. And I said, if I want radically different results, I'm going to have to be willing to do radically different things. And so, what does that look like? And oddly enough, I started with the intermittent fasting. But when you start to commit to something, and we're talking about commitment, if I'm actually committing to change my life, it goes beyond just the intermittent fasting. If I'm going to become healthy, what does that look like? Well, that also includes exercise. And that includes sleeping at a regular time. I usually get 3 to 3.5 hours of sleep per night. And I realize that's not good for me. I know better, but I hadn't committed to a healthier way of living. And so when I started doing radically different things, what is radically different for my sleep? That would be like twice as much sleep, which is 6 hours a night. And I bought a Fitbit and I started tracking my sleep on a nightly basis. Then literally saying to myself, I got to go to bed earlier so that I can get up early to go to the gym and so that I can exercise and I can lose weight. I can do the intermittent fasting during the day and I can get back in shape. And it was radically different from everything that I've been doing. And the results have been radically different. I'm going to do it even if I don't like it until I create the new habit. Because you made a comment about it's the consistency that's going to create those habits.
The essence behind it all we call self improvement. We want ourselves to be optimally able to engage in all of those things. In order to do that, we need to look at all of those areas. It requires creating a balance in our life. Our families are really important, but so is working for a living and producing what we need. Relationships with other people all really require a lot of commitment from us. And all of that commitment needs to be balanced. It all revolves around self improvement. And self improvement consists of identifying each area that we want to improve in and setting particular goals and objectives in that area, being able to hold ourselves accountable for the commitments that we make in those areas. So it's an entire program that sort of fits together. We want to be balanced, we want to be committed in every area. But if we try to make a radical change in every area of our life at the same time, it can be overwhelming. So we need to prioritize things. And we do that sort of by living in the moment, by being mindful, by sitting down and asking ourselves important questions like, what is really the important thing for me to do today? For example, I am a great grandpa, and I'm a grandpa, and I'm a son, and I'm a brother, and I'm an uncle, and I'm a nephew. I have all different kinds of relationships, and I have responsibilities in all of those areas. I need to determine what all of those relationships are and what would be ideal for me to relate to people. I need to set aside the appropriate time to be aware of the curricular activities that people are involved in. I need to be a part of that in some way to support them and encourage them. There are just so many demands on our lives that it could be overwhelming. We need to be very careful that we don't overcommit. Sometimes you have to compromise. The way we have done it
So
at our house, for example, is my wife and I work together in a lot of areas. Some of our commitments are joint commitments. She will bring me a stack of cards and say, "These are the things that are taking place. And if you'd like to fill out these cards, that would be very nice." A joint effort, a joint commitment to stay in touch with everyone. It would be overwhelming if I tried to do that all by myself because there's so many commitments in so many different places. Sometimes we just need help. We need to be part of a team. We need to create things that work. And sometimes that's delegating responsibilities and working with other people. You have to design your goals and objectives realistically so that they fit into your life. Otherwise, you're discouraged all the time. You missed this birthday and you didn't get this card out. It's frustrating. You lose your self worth. You devalue yourself. You feel incompetent. And it can be a really destructive cycle. Whereas if we're very careful when we make commitments, when we analyze things and look at balance of things, our life should be very orderly with the time constraints, the resources that are available, and put everything together and then make our commitments that we're actually going to keep.
So, what I hear you saying is be selective about the commitments that you make and say no to the commitments that you know you're not going to follow through on so that you can do a better job at actually following through on the commitments that you do make. Is that about right?
Yeah, sometimes you just have to say no. Maybe because of your schedule, you don't have time to do everything. For example, I have a lot of grandchildren, and the activities that they're involved in are numerous. I could get lost in that. But I don't want to get lost in remembering their birthday and making special time with them. So there are things that I can do, but I can't do everything. We just have to be selective when we make our commitments. Set clear and measurable goals, write down your commitments, make a contract with yourself so that you can follow the contract and be held accountable, and share your commitments with others so that you have a support system around you. Use the technology available to you or calendars or way to track things. Visualize yourself being successful, track your progress, reflect on your values, hold regular review sessions with yourself, reassess and adjust your goals when need be, and celebrate all of your achievements and pat yourself on the back when you do faithfully commit to something and follow through. Practice mindfulness, living in the present moment. Life should be enjoyable and pleasurable, and you should be satisfied with your life. If you're not for any reason, identify that, set a goal, and be committed to that goal and improve your life because it can be done.
Thank you so much. For those of you that are joining us, these are the insights and wisdom of Omuugn. And you can join us every Saturday morning as we unpack the next in the series. So if you haven't already, get your copy today, and we will see you same time, same place next week.